Today, we honor the life, the work, and the legacy of the late public health pioneer, Teresa Del Reine Elder, also known as TD. Queen Mother Elder was born in September of 1927 and passed earlier this year on January 5th, 2021. She was the very first African American public health nurse in Charlotte, North Carolina. She attended and graduated from West Charlotte High School during its inaugural year in 1938. After graduating high school, Elder attended Johnson C. Smith University for a year, but later transferred to North Carolina Central University to study nursing. She went to work at the Good Samaritan Hospital in Charlotte in 1948. In 1962, she started working as a public health nurse for Mecklenburg County, where she would go into communities and perform health checks or administer prescribed medication. Her success was measured by the decreased numbers of absences in schools and a greater health literacy among the families she was responsible for. Mecklenburg County tasked her with the responsibility of breaking the color barrier in public health service. Along with another African American nurse, she was assigned to predominantly white districts. She experienced skepticism and received disrespectful language. Elder even treated patients in Ku Klux Klan territory within Charlotte. Over time, she gained the same kind of relationship from her new patients that she received from her previous patients. Elder worked with Mecklenburg County Health Department until her retirement in 1989. In 2001, Governor Mike Easley conferred upon her the Order of the Longleaf Pine, and in recent years, the Thereasea Clark Elder Neighborhood Park was created in her honor by the Charlotte Parks and Recreation Department. Those who were blessed enough to know and share space with Mrs. Elder understand her impact. They understand because of the way that she impacted them. They witnessed firsthand her generosity, her wealth of knowledge, her love for the community, and her commitment to her people. Today, we seek to honor that impact with a story and a poem shared by Hannah Hassan.
I have been impacted, held up, and loved on by many women in this community. One of those women is Annetta Watkins Ford. You see, I was on a call one day with Annetta when I noticed that her usually sunny disposition, it felt a little darker. I could hear it in her voice. When I asked her what was wrong, she paused, took a deep breath, and told me that one of the giants in our community had passed. I like to call her Queen Mother Thereasea Elder. It hit me like a ton of bricks in that moment because I love Miss Elder. I was blessed to share time and space with her at the ribbon cutting of the park that was named after her. And I got to write a poem in her honor and I performed it in front of her. And afterward, she took me to the side and spoke life over me. She gave me words of wisdom and made me feel like I was the only one in the room. I love Miss Elder. So when Annetta gave me the news that day, it was difficult. And I wasn't surprised that Annetta was having a difficult time as well because Mother Elder, she touched all of us in different ways. And as we were discussing the magnitude of this loss, Annetta reflected on her story of her experiences with Miss Elder. She told me the following story. Annetta said, Hannah, I get chills and I get emotional just thinking about her because I know that she's now no longer here. When I first met Miss Elder, it was 20 years ago. It was when I first started working at CBI and we were working within one of the programs. It was called the University City Community Building Project. And it dealt with working with University City-wide and the people from the area who were community leaders. The goal was to build community in the university area, and Miss Elder was one of those community leaders that I was introduced to early on when going to these meetings. We just hit it off. She reminded me of my mom. She was just wise. And when I heard her story of being in the medical field and all that that meant to her, and I learned what she meant to the city, it was just such a powerful experience for me to know her. She never met a stranger. She was so generous in her wisdom and guidance. And anytime I would see her, I would attach myself to her because I wanted that wisdom. And over the years, we continued to have encounters. I remember when we started doing the bus tours in the city, we were doing them for Atrium. I had the idea, so what if we asked Miss Elder to come on the tours and, tell her story? And when she started Carolina's healthcare system, the old Good Samaritan Hospital, she was there at the beginning. So this was an opportunity for people who didn't know her to get to know her. She is their history. She is our history. And she came and she talked about being the first Black nurse and working with the doctors in the ER and why it was important to not just retire and stop serving. Her energy was boundless. And every time I would see her, I would say, I hope when I get as young as you, I can have that kind of energy. She was everywhere. She was a staple in the community, and our community will not be the same without her. Annetta shared that story with me. And then I shared the story of my experiences with Mother Elder. And we held space with each other that day for the gift that was Thereasea Elder, for the beauty of the truth of her life's work and purpose, and for all of the girls and women and just people that she impacted in moments large and small with her voice, with her works, and her life. To be able to share with Miss Elder when she was here, and that I hope can share her story a bit now that she is no longer with us in the physical realm. When you have come to raise the village that you have known, the village that is your home, when you have come to raise her health care, to raise awareness that you care, to create spaces and places that nurture your own, when you have come to raise the village, you take the education that you got there and you bring it back home. You break barriers and burst through doors. You stand as the first Black woman who wasn't there before. You create a space beside you for those behind you who are coming up next. You let the works that you have done bear witness to what can be their future success. Because when you have come to raise the village, you stand as a good Samaritan, giving light to God's plan. When you have come to raise the village, you make the village your priority, regardless of skin color of its inhabitants. And when they call on you to desegregate, when they call on you to work your magic in clan land, you raise the village, and you care for the people in a way that no one else can. When you have come to raise the village, you nurture new mamas. You teach them the tools with the babies in their arms. You educate, you remind them of the skills that they will need to teach those babies as soon as they get home. When you have come to raise the village, you aren't just working at the hospital. You are helping to deliver babies. You are in the operating room, hands on, right beside the operating table. You are the advocate for the people's health, the door-to-door face of the health department. You are providing services, raising awareness, healing Charlotte. When you have come to raise the village and you are at the heartbeat of the people's well-being, you raise the village, you heal the village, and you give nursing meaning. When you have come to raise the village, You have answered a divine decree. Our Creator, in all of His glory, in all of His light, and all of His majesty, placed you here, put you on this mission, said there is work to be done, put you in this position, and said, raise the village. And in this service, Thereasea Elder, you will find your wealth. Raise the village, heal the village, and be a beacon of hope and light for the public's health.